So now that the step of filling each horn with epoxy skull putty and pressing them onto a wood dowel is complete, the next step is to make these horns look like these. There are multiple steps to do this, and it's not hard, it just takes time and patience. I do have a PDF guide that explains all of this, but we'll go through it briefly in this video. Now remember, this video shows how I paint my Darth Maul horns. However, you're free to paint your Darth Maul horns however you see fit, using whichever process you like, and if you decide to use this method, this video will help you. So now that I have the horns filled and ready to be painted, the first step is they need to be cleaned up just a little bit. So the first thing I do is I lay the horns out as you see here with my painting apparatus here on the right. So first, the first thing you want to do is remember, in the last step, you took a sanding block and smoothed the bottoms around the 4-hour mark so that there wouldn't be anything protruding up at the bottom of the horn, so they'll be smooth on your head. Just like this. You take your sanding block, turn it, and do that, just to make it smooth. Okay, so the next step is I use a Scotch-Brite ultra-fine sanding pad, and I kind of roughed it up so you can see it doesn't even look like a Scotch-Brite pad anymore. And I just take it along the horn, and I'm not quote-unquote sanding this horn down. You don't want to lose the detail. But just to get rid of any rough surfaces, it only takes a moment. And it prepares the surface for the paint. Again, you're not removing material, you're just removing any little burrs, make it kind of smooth. It's very easy, only takes a moment. And I just put it on the apparatus because it's lined up to be painted. Go to the next one, do the same thing. Make it smooth. You can see here it doesn't take long. That's very smooth. There's no little tiny bumps from the printing process. I use a 0.25 millimeter print head, so these come out very, very smooth, practically ready to be painted. But along the top, where the print head ends, there's usually a little tiny pointy piece of plastic that you can just take off right there. It just comes right off. Sometimes it's not even there. But you get the gist of what I'm saying. Go on to the next one. Again, I'm just doing this very lightly. Okay. So you can see this one's smooth, ready to be painted. So I'll paint one of these instead of taking you through the whole thing. I will show you the paint that's used. This is the primer I use. So I start off with this primer. Let it dry for about a day. But really, you can let it dry 4 hours before you start applying paint, which we'll go over in our next video. So real quick, I'll just show you how I primer these. Take a little bit of primer. Get it on the brush there. You don't need a lot. This is just a light coat of primer. Take your horn and just brush it out. Brush it all the way out. Do the same on each side. Until you get a good coat. You do not want a heavy coat, just brush it out. Just to get it to be a light coat of primer. Once you get the horn done, come back and do the base. Just like this. Again, light them out. You do not want to load it up. You just want to make a light coat of primer. And there you have it. So once I get all of these done, I'll come back and make another video showing how to get the paint process started.